On this episode of the Garrett and Karl Show, CKPG's Rich Abney, as well as CKPG's Victoria Levy. And from the river, Juliette Nunes. Rich Abney, CKPG News, how's it going?
Doing well, yeah, thank you. Thanks, this is cool. I'm used to seeing your guys' show is it the basement?
It's actually our living room.
In the living room, okay, in the living room. And then I saw you guys are now going to, on location, you went to Marilyn Hall's office, yeah. Right? And now you're here. So I'm used to sitting back there, but this is cool.
How does it feel being on the Garrett and Karl Show? Does it feel special?
it's a dream come true.
You'll get a lollipop when it's over.
Thank you. It's like the dentist. No, they don't give lollipops. Who gives lollipops?
The dentist does. I think that's like the sick how they give you more cavities,
right,
and then you have a reason to come back.
People in white vans.
Yes, yeah, that and puppies. I remember my dentist as a kid. We had it was Polaroids for the pictures at the time. Well, it was the no cavity wall, and I've got 3 siblings, and I got cavities in my back teeth. I remember the next time I was there, I was taken off no cavity. Oh. My siblings were there, all their Polaroids, and I was off the no cavity wall. And I was like an 8-year-old. It was like
heartbreaking,
devastating. Yeah.
I got cavities. Don't tell my friends.
So maybe Rich, you could give us a little backstory of how you got to work in the news and working with CKPG.
Yeah, I mean how I got to work here. This was my first job in the news. I was actually hired halfway through school, which was crazy. It's really hard to get a job in this industry, right? I went to BCIT, which is a super respected broadcasting school, but nonetheless, no matter how respected the school is or how well you do, there's only so many jobs. You know, we always see less and less jobs in TV, so it's a little discouraging when you're there thinking, am I going to be one of the lucky ones to come out with a job? And I mean, Dave Barry, the news director here, took a chance on me, and yeah, it was a gamble. And I'm sure for the first few months he was thinking, what have I done? But hopefully, it's been over 2 years now. So
how was it working and going to school at the same time?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I finished my education while I was up here. It was okay. I didn't have like a full course load once I was up here. I co-opted out. There's a few projects I had to do, but I was obviously super committed. Some people were saying, just now that you've got a job, like don't finish school. And I thought,
I've heard people in the business that have done that before, and they advised against that. They said that it kind of went in the long run for getting future jobs. That kind of helps it back.
You want the schooling, you're saying? Yeah. I would say that it's important, and it was good. I mean, I got to go back for grad, which is awesome, and made my mother happy. So
you get to see all your old friends.
That's right. Right. Throw the cap in the hair, or in the air, and see my buddies. Yeah, so it was cool. It was excellent. So that's what. It's been 1.5 years since that now. So that's the last time I was in Vancouver. Which is amazing because I lived there until the day I moved up here, sort of thing, and I haven't.
So you're originally from Vancouver?
I'm from Kelowna, from West Kelowna.
Ooh.
West side.
There was a wall.
There was a wall there. Now they put a lake. Yeah.
I remember when they tore down the wall. Parties everywhere.
It was unbelievable.
It was great.
Yeah, it was chaos for a while, but yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, so I get to go home. It's about an 8-hour drive away, so it's a little too far for a zip home on the weekends all the time, but I get to go home. I got a couple little nieces, so it's cool. Yeah.
You're known as a very enthusiastic local sports person,
yeah.
And were you, from a young age, were you always enthused about sports?
Yeah, I mean, I love sports. I grew up playing sports, and I think that was kind of the first thing I wanted to do was be a guy on TV doing sports. It was kind of weird the way it worked out, but in terms of the localness, if that's a word, when I got here, I realized that no one was watching us for the Canucks. You know, the Canucks game the day before, everyone already knew about it. There's the internet and there's the 24-hour sports channels. So I realized, okay, well, how are we going to get more people engaged? And if you told me a couple of years ago I would know the names of every, girls' high school basketball player or every, local archer or all these sorts of things, I would call you crazy, but it's cool. And I think that, I mean, I'm biased, but I think that the community's kind of responded well. And there's, I mean, this week we probably had 5 different high school highlights on, and the university didn't get that much love before either, and they're on there now, and all sorts of things.
Yeah, you play a lot of local, like 100% local.
Yeah, 100% local. Yeah, so which is tiring, right? Because
you're the only one on your team, right?
Yeah, it's a one-man band, but it's fun because now the community's made it a lot easier for me. Like I know the Caribou Cougars practice this time. I know the Northern Capitals practice this time. I know I can go to PGSS for their practice. I know et cetera, et cetera. So it's gotten a lot easier for me to just sort of throw it together. Sometimes you think it'd be easy just to grab 4 minutes of NFL highlights and throw them in there or something, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody watches local news for that. So, I mean, I'm sure there's the odd person, like a big diehard Montreal Canadiens fan who doesn't get his Canadiens highlights anymore, which is, but I think if you're a diehard Montreal Canadiens fan,
you'll find the source.
And you already know about it, right?
Exactly.
So, I think the response has been pretty positive. This is a very serious interview right now. I watched you guys do other ones, and it's like,
it's the set.
This is like 60 minutes. I'm okay.
So what is this ink blot? What
exactly what in my childhood? What does this mean to me? Yeah, that's sure.
See anything?
I just found out we talked about this the other day. You're a painter.
I got a bunch of painting supplies for Christmas, and I kind of took the bull by the horns, and I've just been going nuts lately.
Did you know you were good at painting before you started?
My level of painting, I knew I had a certain skill. I wouldn't say it was very good, and I don't think it's gotten any better since, but there's definitely a lot of creativity that goes into it and keeps it unique. And I'd say it's my own style.
It's a wonderful outlet, just like as is music for me, as is sports for Rich.
Yeah. I mean, we talk because I paint, right?
Yeah, you were saying.
Not very well, though. And you say it's like a creative outlet for you, and you've got like paint in your shirt. I'm like the opposite. And because I'm like clean as a whistle, and I take forever to do it, and I draw it out first. And so I have like a paint station set up in my house, which people might be surprised to know. But all my paint, all my canvases, all my brushes all come from the dollar store.
Oh yeah?
I take great pride. Yeah.
Actually, tell them the story about the canvases.
I went to every dollar store.
Is this where they've gone? I went yesterday and there's no
canvases. And I've bought every 8x10 canvas.
Oh,
I was trying to buy 100 of them because I'm trying to paint 100 cats on 100 canvases. I've got like 78 canvases right now.
You painted 70 canvases?
No.
Okay, that's how many you have? You're just hoarding the 8x10s?
Well, I have 26 cats done and several in process and a lot of blank
74
canvases.
Cats to go. That could be your book or something.
I'm thinking about actually making a coffee table book, and each page will be a different kitty.
Called 100 Cats on the Wall.
That's unbelievable.
And I'm going to put together an art show or something.
And just have cat after cat.
Yeah, and just
amazing.
make a cat show. It'll be, I don't know, maybe we could actually bring cats.
I'm going to start to buy this 8x10s and sell them at twice the price to you. $1 profit. Or if you've got 8x8s, little trade. That's what I work with.
You work with 8x8s?
The 8x8, yeah.
I have one 8x8, but I already used it.
It's okay. That's all right.
YouTube, you have a clip right here that went viral.
Yeah.
How has that affected your life?
Oh, it's
supermodels, right? You married 2 supermodels?
I married about 2 at once, yeah. I don't know them really personally, but it's a lot different now. It's been, I think that was in August or so when that went up. And the crazy thing about that, I mean, there's no real way to explain it, I guess, unless it's happened to you, because it's like that's all anybody wants to talk to you about, right? And when you realize like first it had like 10,000 views, then 20,000 views. Then somebody on Facebook, like a famous Facebook guy, shared it, and somebody sent me a picture that said 500,000 views, and I was like, oh, that's a whole different ball game all of a sudden. And then I woke up in the morning, and I remember I was bringing my car in to get work done, and I had a bunch of texts from friends saying like, check out timemagazine.com, check out Entertainment Weekly, check it, and I'm like, oh no. And my world just kind of got flipped, right? But it was cool. I mean, I didn't mind it at all. After a while, the thing is that 99 people could say nice things about you, and then one person says something not so nice about you, and that's the one you remember, right? So I had to sort of stop watching and stop reading, because you skim past this is hilarious, this is funny, this guy's great.
Internet is a cesspool of hatred.
All the anonymity from being behind a computer just lets people go crazy, and it's too much. So.
People feel extra brave, I guess. But I mean, it was interesting. Like I'm sure I'll never experience something like that again. And I mean, they kind of turned this place upside down too. Camille was obviously involved in Alien. That was Alien's last week. Yeah. And so she was going to work for the government, and like when she got to her job, people were like, "We saw you in that Uranus video." So it kind of had a second life. We never put it up. Like we never put it up on CKPG.com. We never put it on our own YouTube. The only place that started
up on your personal, right?
On my own Facebook wall. I didn't even put it up on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. And so to think that's where it started, and it got spread. I think it went to Hell Yeah, and then it kind of got spread around from there. And had I put it on YouTube, I could have probably made a few bucks. Like I saw some guys got it up there. I mean, there's a bunch of different versions of it, but and he's got over 1 million just himself, right? So
better than the lettuce on Uranus, Thug Life.
That's Thug Life. That's right. There's a couple of Thug Life.
Was there really? Oh,
yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's ridiculous. But and it kind of got a second life now that there's these year-end blooper reels and the news bloopers. And it wasn't really a blooper because I knew what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun
it was
fact, people always
Camille's
think-
face. That's
right.
video.
That's why it went kind of cuckoo, I think. And yeah, she's hilarious. She wore it well. Like
Yeah.
somebody else could have taken that not so well, but she made it her Facebook profile picture. And
Someone
she loved it.
photoshopped her face on the screen.
That's right.
It was
That had like
classic.
500,000 views on Reddit or something.
That's
So
nuts.
It was nuts. Yeah, it actually would have crashed CKPG's like computers if we put it up on our own website because we have a video provider. This is what Mike Benny told me. He runs all our video and that sort of thing. And he said it's a good thing we didn't because it would have just crashed everything. Because we'll get a video, let's say with 10 or 15,000 views, and that suddenly we have to crunch some numbers because like that's
Taking up all our bandwidth.
That's exactly right. So if we were to have millions and millions and millions of views traffic-wise, in theory that's a good thing. But yeah, it's kind of it was crazy. I'm glad that it's kind of gone away. The odd time somebody comes up and says to me,
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my claim to fame is?
Yes.
I was the first person to laugh at that video.
Were you laughing at
I was master
Like
control.
live? Were
I
you
laughed
laughing?
out loud. It was hilarious. It made me laugh, and I came home and I told Karl right away. And he didn't believe in me at all, but then he started seeing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You were right there. Okay, I hear the laughing in my ear, but that's the funny thing. You know what? James Corden showed it on his late night show, right?
Yeah.
And I laughed really hard when I watched it, and I didn't know why I was laughing because I'd seen it so many times, and I realized it's because you can hear people laughing. Like most of the time, you just watch the video,
And it's just
it's just
silent.
crickets, right? Camille's like gasping, and Alien's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
And that's it, right? So, but when you could hear a live studio audience, I was like, okay, so people think this is funny,
Yeah.
right? So it was nice to. That's why when I make ridiculous jokes all the time on the air.
Yeah, I almost want to call them dad jokes.
They're dad jokes, and
Yeah.
so was that. Really,
That was
But-
Being on the news, you got to keep it clean yet find a provocative way to.
right. You
make
can't
fun of
offend
it.
anybody.
Of
That's the
course.
key, right?
Yeah.
So, but I get to hear the laughing in my ear from like you guys in the back, and so that's like my 3 or 4 person audience. I just hope that people at home enjoy it. So
In our last interview, we interviewed the mayor, and we ended up talking about you, which kind of
I saw that.
landed up. I mean, we're kind of coworkers.
Yes.
It was almost a given. I don't
We
know.
are coworkers.
Yeah, we're on the same level, I think.
You guys have rings you can touch or something?
Yeah, we're part of the same class. Look at his hand. Look at his hands.
They're
Those
massive
are
hands.
big mitts.
You know what they say about
You used to
man
play
with
shortstop,
hands?
didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I never played any sports. I never got into it. And I don't really have the physique.
But you're from a small town too, right? So probably
Mm-hmm.
less opportunities for
Mhm.
organized sport.
Exactly.
Definitely.
It was all involved with their high school, and the high school
Right.
was like a 40-minute drive away, and there was no
Right.
second bus taking me home, so I didn't really have many opportunities when it came to that.
But you love walking. I always see you walking in the I'll
I know-
see like a big furry figure, and I'm like, either that's Bigfoot or Garrett. And
One of these days, it's going to be big.
it's gonna be, and I'm not gonna look thinking it's just Garrett
Yeah.
and
You're
miss
gonna-
the blurry figure.
One day I'll get a
Sasquatch.
license.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. So, do I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Ask away. Okay. Get ready.
How many episodes is this now? For you
This
guys?
is episode 11.
Why do you hold 2 fingers?
That's 11.
One and
Oh,
one
one.
equals 11.
Silly,
Rich.
silly, yeah. I think you guys should get a show. I think you guys should be on CKPG.
Why?
I keep hearing I've watched all the episodes because I think it's awesome, and I keep hearing you go after unnamed Shaw guy. I think you guys should go on here. A little Saturday morning show. Maybe not Saturday morning. Saturday night show.
Saturday evening,
yeah.
like a half an hour before Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like
Or like we
Live.
could lead into Hockey Night in Canada with you guys.
Oh, wait, that would be.
That's numbers.
That's a lot better than Quiz Me.
It's a lot better than.
Hey man, quiz me. That's my show, man.
Did you see my Facebook?
Were you on Quiz Me like as a kid or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
I've been on it twice. Like we've.
The celebrity
we-
Quiz Me.
Yeah, I guess so we go against the radio people, right? We'll pick a news team and we go against the radio team. And
And don't you just win, decimate them like they're?
it's not. It hasn't been close yet. There's some smart folks in the radio. So, but we'll see what
See
team they
next
put up
year.
this year. Yeah. My claim to fame is I'm the only 2-time champion ever in Quiz Me, I think. Because isn't it like a certain grade?
A certain
Like grade 6 or grade 7? Like no one can win it twice as a kid, I don't think.
I believe so. I believe there's some people that were on last year that were on before.
Oh boy, I hope they don't win.
They strip you of your title.
Yeah, if you lose in grade 6, I mean, why would they take you in grade 7? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have you on the team this year as a member of the TV team. Maybe
Do I count as the news team in Master Control?
I'd say. You're an important
Behind the scenes news team. Yeah.
Maybe this should be Garrett and Karl +1. Like maybe you guys should recruit
We
someone
should be the team.
and challenge. Yeah, maybe I'll ask about Garrett and Karl. It's a TV team.
Now we're talking.
You guys are turning into pretty big celebs around town.
Yeah, man, our YouTube videos almost got 100 views.
Which, not total.
On set.
Kevin Lou, that had to get a lot.
I don't think
Couple
that one
big
actually
names.
I don't think Kevin and Lou got a lot. To be honest.
Kev, Lou.
Come on, guys.
They're probably the biggest celebrities until the mayor, I guess.
The mayor called me out kind of for my calling him out in the fitness challenge at Westwood Elementary. He showed up like in a suit, and I was rocking like a headband and knee-high socks. So he was like, I can't do it this year. So next year, Lynn Hall, your worship. Is it your worship? My worship?
Our worship.
It's all of our worship, Lynn Hall. You are on, sir. Point at him on that camera.
We're pointing at
You can't turn that down.
you. He already agreed to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, you never know with him, right?
Show up in a suit,
Politicians, you know, they're slick.
Yeah.
Keep my eye on you, Lynn.
So where do you plan to go in the future in the biz?
Oh, gosh.
Dave Barry, move out.
Well, you're already technically the sports director, so I don't know. There's not really much in sports and PG you could go towards.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me that this town was going to be this good to me when I started, I wouldn't have believed you, right? In terms of how well it's been received and just how much I've enjoyed the community. So there's no rush for me, right? And like I mentioned before, there's not a ton of jobs out there. That said, I mean, I think you don't want to feel disappointed with where you're at, which I'm not. I feel good. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, you're doing one heck of a job, Rich.
Thanks, man. Wow. Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
Is this it? Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. I saw you guys did like a jam sesh.
Do you want to do one?
Well, except I'm not musically talented, but Karl was like playing the drums on his thigh.
CKPG song. Here we go.
Everybody, tune in to CKPG. Everybody, tune in to Rich Abney.
Oh, that was nice. That was like a little jingle.
Yeah.
It's better if I have the real sax.
Right.
But
That was a sax.
Oh, is it?
If you were-
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe like at some point we'll do like a barbershop.
Quartet. We'll have to
Sure,
get
what?
all match.
Yeah.
striped
Yeah, the
pin shirts.
stripes.
You
Yeah.
know?
Cut.
Victoria Levy from CKPG News.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start at the beginning. What's your official job title?
My job, I am a reporter here at CKPG, so I report 3 days a week, and then I do the weekend radio newscast, and then I go out and shoot on the weekends as well.
So where are you originally from?
I grew up in White Rock,
Ooh,
in the
wow.
Lower Mainland, and then I've moved around a bit since my childhood.
So is Prince George kind of, or is it?
No, I love
Well,
Prince
you love
George.
Prince George, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh no, I think it's great. I came up here. I interned at CKPG a few years ago. So I was up here for a summer for about 8 weeks, and then I came back for the Canada Winter Games, and then finally I got a job here. So I like this city.
What was your first interest in doing reporting for the news?
I grew up watching the Today Show on NBC, their morning show, and I loved it. And ever since I watched that, I just wanted to be a reporter.
Is there any reason why you picked Prince George specifically?
Well, the advice that I got from a lot of people down in the Lower Mainland that were news people told me to go up north, get experience, and if you move to towns like cities like Prince George or Terrace or Kamloops, you get to be hands-on and actually go out and report. Whereas if you stay in Vancouver, you're more likely to be sitting at a desk, sort of helping produce or write. Whereas I want to be actually out there talking to people. So
On the field.
that's why I came out here.
Any plans for the future?
My plans for the future, I'm going to get through this year. I'm pretty new here, so I'm going to put in a year at least, and then sort of, reassess and see where I go from there.
Garrett wanted to be a reporter, moving up for his master control position. Now, what should he study to go into that?
Garrett wants to be a reporter. I would say the most important thing to do is watch the news. And then, I don't know, if you talk to a lot of people around here, a lot of people went to BCIT and did their broadcast program.
What education would you have?
I went to university out in Ottawa, and I did my undergrad in English and political science, which I think is a great foundation for journalism because I learned storytelling, which is English, and then political science, you learn, current events and what's going on. So combined the two of those and led me to BCIT, where I did their broadcast journalism program.
Was it always your intention when you first started in English and social?
It was actually. So when I was in high school, I applied to Carleton University to do their broadcast journalism program, and I didn't get in. And they have a pretty prestigious program. So I was kind of upset that I didn't get in, but I figured, you know what, I'll go do a degree in something else, which I'd heard from a lot of news folks that they kind of recommended doing that because then you sort of get that general studies background and you learn other skills. And then I went and did the technical stuff after. So it was a good sort of life lesson too. And, I got rejected from doing a journalism program, but I found another way to find a job in the industry.
Door closes, one opens. Do you have any favorite stories that you've done in CKPG here?
I have a couple, but one of my absolute favorites was about a month ago I went to this weekend computer coding event, and it was teaching little kids how to code computers.
Wow.
And I got an interview with a 10-year-old named Garrett Ditto that is the best interview I've ever done. He was the sweetest kid, and he was there learning how to code computers. And I was just, I asked him, why do you want to learn to code computers? And he was like so enthusiastic about it. He loves computers, and he wants to know more, and he wants to learn how to do things that help people. And then my last question to him, and I just think it's like a nice sort of message to the world, was I asked him, what's your message to your friends if you think they might want to try computer coding, but they're not sure? Like, what's sort of your message to people? And he said, some people might like to computer coding and some people might not, but if you don't, that's okay, because really that means you have more of a creative brain and you use the right side of your brain, and that's okay too. And it was just such prophetic words from such a little kid that one really stuck with me.
Wow.
I saw that and I was like, man, that kid's going places.
Well, I know. I sent that video to all my friends and family because I was just so impressed by him.
Awesome. Thanks, Victoria.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Any final words live on the Garrett and Karl show?
I'm a big fan of the show, so I'm so thrilled after watching a lot of episodes on your guys' YouTube channel to make my Garrett and Karl debut.
Hi!
Hey, Juliette Nunes.
Again, you sound so cultured saying it.
Is it Italian?
No, Portuguese.
Portuguese. I heard Dave Branco was Portuguese. He
Yeah.
can actually speak the language.
Can I speak it or can
you?
he?
He can. I know he can.
Yeah, I can speak it. I lived in Portugal for 3 months. I mean, when I say I lived, it's like a short time, but I was there on my own. So actually, funny fact, when I started school, I didn't know how to speak English, so I had to go to ESL classes and learn how to speak English because all I spoke was Portuguese.
So, Juliette, how did you get started in the radio business?
Okay, so flashback.
The year was.
I don't know the year, but I was in elementary school, and this is really funny because I didn't realize this until I had an interview for this job, and my program director, Ron Palillo, asked me what sparked an interest in radio, and it came to me that moment that when I was a kid, we had PA announcements, and there was like a lineup of kids that did it every week, and I always wanted to fill in for the sick kid. Anytime there was a kid that was sick, I was like, I'll do it. So I loved, for some reason, maybe I'm a narcissist, I loved everybody listening to my voice. And then on the drives home from school, my dad would put on the radio, and there was a traffic reporter that would, she spoke a mile a minute. So my dad and I would have competitions on who could speak the fastest. And so that started the whole radio thing. But I didn't know that. I enrolled to Laurier University and went for communications and women's studies. And my second year of university, my professor walked into my media studies class and said, if you ever have any sort of hope in becoming an on-air personality for any reason, this isn't the class for you. So I got out of university and enrolled in a journalism program at Seneca College, and I met Jeff Howitt, who is the news director for Chum FM in Toronto. When you're given an opportunity, you just say yes, right? So I said, I'm not doing anything, and he said, well, why don't you come work for Chum FM, see how you like it, and then I fell in love with radio. It was a morning show, so that was it. I was like, I'm in.
How did you find out about the river so far away?
Yeah, so I'm from Toronto. So there's a website called Milkman Unlimited, and there's a bunch of Media Job Search Canada. There's a lot of websites or forums that you can find media jobs that are hiring. And so I scrolled. I was working as a bartender at this point at a sports bar, and I was scrolling, and finally I found the river, and something clicked. I'm all about clicking, and I felt something clicked with it, and it stuck in my mind. I was driving to work one day, and I said 101.3 the river, and it felt right. And so I applied for the job, and within an hour I got an email back from Ron Palillo, who's the program director here, and he asked me if I was available for a phone call. So I said yeah, and then that was it. So that's how I found out about the river.
And how are you
Quite
like
the story.
That is a crazy story from Juliette Nunes.
Yes,
Very
not
nice.
speaking the English.
How do you like Prince George compared to Toronto?
When I moved here, my first Sunday night shift that I had, I left the studio, and I swear to you, there was not one vehicle out on the roads. And I just thought, like, a Sunday night in Toronto is poppin'. Like, there are people everywhere. There are museums that are open. Everything is going on. And there was just nothing here. So it worried me a little bit. It freaked me out. But I came here with complete open mind. Like, I think once you find one thing that you're interested in Prince George, everything sort of follows, right? So community events, all that stuff sort of followed after I started searching for it. But in comparison to Toronto, it's a little bit slower. But I like that.
Oh, you're from the big city.
Yeah.
She's from the big city.
I thought that's the way you guys were going to talk when I met you.
It's from Kitwangas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tell people that, and they're like, "Oh, so you're from Africa?" It's like, yeah, sure, yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Well, actually, the city that I'm from is called Mississauga. It's out of Toronto. So Mississauga seems...
Mississauga, Ontario.
Yeah. I was mentioning to you before, I'd never been to BC before I moved here. And so when I moved here, I just knew mountains. That's all when I thought of BC, I thought mountains. But I never actually visited anywhere in Canada. So now I'm excited. Now that I've been to Prince George, I so want to go to the other smaller towns that nobody's heard of, right? Because I know Prince George, it's a big city for people to live here. But back home, nobody knows where Prince George is. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally want to travel Canada now.
For being a fit on the river, are you a big fan of music, pop music in general? Has that been part of your life?
Yeah, well, pop music probably falls a little bit lower on the list. I shouldn't say that, but yeah, I listen to everything. I actually joke around all the time about trying different formats, like myself, applying for like a jazz radio station. I would love to work on a jazz radio station and see if I could keep up, right? Also love country music. Rock, classic hits, reggae, dancehall. I listen to it all. I just appreciate music in general.
Awesome.
You don't have very much work to put together the playlist here on the river, though, do you?
No, that sort of falls on the music department that decides the music that we play on the river. However, we do take requests. So if someone were to call in and say, hey, I would love to hear Enrique Iglesias by Lemos, which Rich Abney always calls and requests, I can do that. I can totally put that in. But to go ahead and put my own playlist on the river sort of contradicts the river. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing any of my music on the river anytime soon. No.
This is the new hip hop and blues hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Juliette.
Thank you.
Wonderful interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are so cute together. I just love. Oh, so many smacks.